Good evening. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Adish, okay, great. Good evening and welcome to another webinar of Learning Circle Academy. My name is PK Raghunathan and I'm one of the founders of Learning Circle Academy. The endeavor of Learning Circle Academy is to offer a wide variety of topics as free webinars. Some of them will also be offered as paid programs for people who are keen to know more. Many of our webinars will be made available on the YouTube channel of Learning Circle Academy. So we request you to subscribe to our YouTube channel of Learning Circle Academy. We will put in the link, and also we request you to subscribe to our Telegram channel to get updates about our future programs, both free webinars and paid programs. We also request you to post your questions on the Q&A section. Since this is a Zoho webinar, Zoho does not offer at this point of time the chat section. So the Q&A section will be used to post your questions or any of your doubts or any of your suggestions. Please feel free to mention it there. And now let's go on to our today's topic. Today's topic is on faculty empowerment. Before I introduce the speaker and hand it over to her, I'd just like to say a few words about her. She's an ex-banker, so there's one connectivity between her and me. I've been a banker too, so it starts off with the connectivity there. But she's done a lot more. She's a corporate trainer. She's a motivational speaker. She's a student's mentor. She's also a practicing counselor. She's an NLP master practitioner. She's a POSH enabler and lot more. And some of her qualifications, I couldn't put it down all at one shot for me to read. She is a Master of Science in Physics from SRC Trichy. She's also done her CAIIB, which is a banking qualification. She's done her PG diploma in financial management. Later on, she also did in projects management. Apart from that, she's done her MSc in counseling psychology and also in clinical psychology. So there are many other qualifications that she has got. Like I said, today's focus will be on the faculty empowerment. Wish you a very great learning. And now I hand you over to the speaker, Ms. Uma Bhaskaran. Over to you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, and thank you, Mr. Raghunathan, for that beautiful introduction. Before I start speaking, am I audible and am I visible?
Yes, very much audible and visible.
Okay.
So you may want to put your screen sharing if you wish to.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, fine. Best wishes.
Thank you. Is the screen visible now?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we'll try it again. Please let me know when it's visible.
Yes, it's
Is it
visible now.
visible, sir?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so once I start sharing my slide, I will not be able to see the participants. So over to the slide. Good afternoon, respected teachers and professors. Mr. Raghunathan has given a brief introduction about me. All I would like to say about me is I'm a passionate trainer, and on top of it, I really respect the teachers and professors to such a great extent that I have always drawn inspiration from all my teachers and professors. And in till date, I have been in touch with them, and I have been acknowledging that. Even on the recent Guru Purnima day, I called them and thanked them for the contribution from their side by way of mentoring and by way of being a role model to me in various aspects for whatever I am today. So, with humble pranams to all of you, let me start the session. Today's topic is the Faculty Empowerment Program, and thank you, Learning Circle Academy, for creating this wonderful platform, for sharing my thoughts, and also sharing the kind of regards and respects I have for the teaching fraternity. And thank you so much, participants, for taking your time out to listen to us. And that itself is a sign of progress. And that itself is a sign that indicates that you are open to learning and open to grow in times of uncertainty. Let us start with the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Okay, my commitment is, before I start the session, I have committed, my firm commitment is to make the next 1 hour most memorable to all of us. Not only to me, but for all of you, which is certainly possible only with undivided attention and participation from all of you, because this topic is very close to my heart. As I said, I have always I value and will value the teachers and professors for the efforts they have been taking always, and particularly during this pandemic situation with lots of uncertainties. I have been observing, I have been hearing, I have been listening to a lot of teachers who are taking lots of extra efforts to make their virtual sessions interactive and interesting. So, can I have a yes from all of you to make this session absolutely memorable for all of us? Let me see in the chat. So the chat, as Mr. Raghunathan said, is the Q&A. So you can type your answers in the Q&A. To get a confirmation that yes, you're listening to me, and also I have been seeking your 100% undivided attention. Yes, you are there with me on this aspect on the Q&A. Yeah, thank you so much.
Uma ma'am, can you maximize your presentation? It's not in the slideshow mode.
Yeah, sure, I'll do that. Done. Yeah. Okay. Generally, we end any session with a thank you slide, but for this topic particularly, I want to start with the thank you slide, because I'm always grateful to the teachers who are doing such an exemplary job always and at this time. And my thanks note to all my teachers who have really molded me. And so, for all of you, though you are teachers and professors now, I'm sure you must be having lots of beautiful memories, the kind of inspirations we have drawn from our teachers and professors in various ways, the way they talk, the way they dress, the way they pronounce certain words, the way they write. Everything we have drawn inspiration from various teachers, whether it is language or maths or science or history or anything. Whatever we do, we tend to relate to the style of our teachers, and so are the current generation children as well. Try to tell them something which is contrary to what their teacher has said, they will not agree. Immediately they will say, no, my teacher told me like this, only that will be correct. You don't know anything. So that's the kind of reputation teachers have, or that is the way the students are looking up to the teachers as role models. So these are some of the real thanks notes from students to some of the teachers. Why I put the thank you slide first? Thank you, teacher, for first note. When I go to your classes, I leave energized and excited. You are what a teacher is supposed to be. Thanks for the motivation. When I say this, I really get reminded of my teachers. This is a little note to let you know just how helpful you have been. You're such an amazing teacher, and I hope you know that. So it's not enough if we feel we need to express and make them know how we feel about them. Thank you. Third note, your classes are just so inspirational. I've never had a teacher like you, and for that, I'm so thankful every day. Fourth note, I don't think you realize it, but you were such a huge influence on me this year. You made me so excited and passionate about the rest of my degree. Thank you so much. So these are some of the real-time notes of thanks given by the students to their teachers and professors. So now here is an activity for you on the chat or on the Q&A. You can type what are the qualities or skills that you have acquired from your teachers and professors? What kind of inspirations you have drawn from them? So the moment I ask this question, I'm sure each one of us get reminded of a few names of teachers. You can mention the name of the teacher who inspired you for a particular skill. So you can write from this teacher or this professor, this is the skill that really inspired me and I always want to be like that. Okay, so like this, whatever comes to your mind, this is an opportunity for you to post a word of note of gratitude for that teacher or professor from whom you have drawn the inspiration while you are a teacher or a professor by yourself now. So I'm going to read out some of the notes. So yeah, waiting for good afternoon. Waiting for some of your notes of thanks, patience, and honesty. Oh, passion from Sakti Srinivasan, sir. I hope. Okay, Sri Jayanti remember Sakti Srinivasan, sir, for his passion towards teaching. Subhash Jain Jai Gurudev. Patience and honesty, Dr. Smriti Parik says. If you want, you can mention the name of the teacher or the professor from whom you have drawn that inspiration. Friendly and compassionate, Dr. Anshu Arora, thank you. Keertana, my principal never gave up on me and I want to be like that. Great, Keertana. Again, Sri Jayanti, energy and positive attitude from Gomati Madam. Okay, I wish Gomati Madam gets to know that, but do pass on these remarks to your teachers without fail, probably end of the day. Dedicated from you. Oh, thank you so much, Geeta ma'am, for boldness and hard work. Sweta. Dr. Anshu Arora again. I remember Professor Gao for his inspiration. Okay. Then, when I was in village school, science teacher took extra class in his home. That I can't forget, says Subhash Jain. Great. You're really blessed to have such a teacher. Okay, waiting for some more notes of thanks to your teachers. This is the wonderful opportunity, a platform for you to post your notes of gratitude and thanks to the teachers who have really inspired you, that you have become a teacher yourself. I would really like to read some. So I'm not able to see all the messages. Waiting to see some more messages, please. Yeah, it says more. Okay. Yes. Unable to see the chat box. Meena Ashok, please click the Q&A. That is the chat box in Zoho. Q&A, that's the chat box. For Zoho platform, there is no separate chat box. So Q&A is the chat box. Hope you're able to see now. Okay. Kandasamy sir, Malar says Kandasamy sir was an inspiration, very sincere person. Yes, good afternoon, Mr. ASJ. Okay, the way they explain the concept, never forget it for a long time. Yes, we can never forget A plus B the whole square is equal to A square plus 2AB plus B square, Newton laws of motion. We can never forget certain things, the way they have really taught us. Then, Geeta ma'am, her boldness and hard work. Okay, when I was in, okay, same thing comes. I'm not able to see all the messages. However, thank you so much for posting all your notes of gratitude for your teachers, for the inspiration you have drawn from them. Not sure the way they explain the concept. Okay, fine. So probably some of you have typed the notes of thanks here. You can always take this opportunity to send a note of thanks to your teachers and professors after the session also, that we have been reminded. Okay, why I have asked you to do this? Yes. Now, tell me, what is that one quality or few qualities of you which your students will be remembering you always, or what is the way that your students want to refer to you after few years? Now, currently they are students. After some years, when they look back and say, this teacher, this professor of mine was like this, and I have drawn this inspiration from this teacher. So if it is that particular thing that you really want your students to speak about you, what is that comes to your mind? So some of you can type the answer. Knowledge and passion. Okay, Sri Jayanti. Thank you. Yes, I'm not able to read the name. So what is that quality of yours? Patience, okay. That you want to be remembered about, that your students pick up such traits from you and have looked up to you as role models. So after a few years, when they look back and say, my teacher, the way that I'm asking you now, when your students are going to think about you and refer, how do you want to be referred to, and how do you want to be spoken about? What comes to your mind quickly? Explaining concepts, empathy and helping nature to be there for them always, and solving their academic and other problems. Okay, great. The way of teaching with examples, explaining the concepts, patience, yeah, that's very much needed in always, and in particularly in the current scenario. Punctuality and being friendly. Yes, Meena, you're right. Okay, Shankari said way of teaching with examples. Then real mentor or Lalita. Real mentor who's impartial and a great motivator. Exactly, yes. Students will ever remember. My teacher was so impartial and she loved all of us equally. She was a real mentor to each and every one of us. Okay. So, like this, just think for yourself. Everyone who has not typed the messages in the chat box also, again I repeat, Q&A is the chat box in the Zoho platform. So, whoever has not typed also, I request you to please think how you want to be referred to a few years later by your own students. This teacher was like this. Okay, being sincere, punctual. Can you make presentation full? I will do it, Professor Dr. Paresha. I will do it. For me to read the messages in the chat box, I have to get into the other mode. That's why now I will switch back to the presentation mode for sure. Okay, thank you so much for posting your remarks of the way you want to be referred to by your students a few years later. So, like how we have branding for corporates, we have branding for individuals also. So now what you have thought of, the way you want to be referred by your students in your absence also, is called the self-branding. The way people refer to us or talk about us in our absence, when we are not around, is called our self-branding. And how is the branding happening? We create our own branding through our actions and behaviors. The way we treat the students, the way we conduct the classes, we create a brand for ourselves. So I would like to repeat, branding is not applicable only to corporates, but it's also applicable to each one of us, not only to teachers, to each and every one of us. Our branding is the way people refer to us in our absence or when we are not around in a room. Okay, so now I'm going to try to share a video. One second. So are you all able to see the screen, please? It's okay if it's not audible. Are you all able to see the screen? Raghunathan sir, can you just see
Yes,
whether it's
yes, yes.
visible?
Screen is visible now.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you. It's okay if the audio is not audible. It's self-explanatory. Okay. So now, can you identify the person in this video? I am waiting for some answers in the chat. Can you identify the person in this video? Am I audible? Okay, for some audio and video not coming.
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Okay, teacher, Dr. Hannah. Okay, okay. Dr. Hannah, teacher. Okay. Okay, fine. Thank you, Mr. Selvam. So I'm waiting. Oh, Dr. Anshu Arora, it's you. I didn't know that. Okay. Any other answers? Who is that person? Teacher. Okay. Mr. Shankar says I'm not audible. But I think I'm audible for many. All the teachers, okay, fine. So doesn't she resemble somebody? The teacher looks so familiar. You've seen this person somewhere near your house? Inside your house? Yes? Okay, just get up quickly and go and stand in front of the mirror. You'll be seeing an image. You will be seeing an image, and that's the person whom we saw in this video. Yes, this lady represents, the lady in the video represents each and every one of you who has been really slogging, especially during these times, picking up and learning a lot of new technologies, new trends, and making yourself so creative, balancing between work and life. So I have heard some of the teachers or other professionals saying that at least when we were working at office, we only had limited hours to work and some work we bring home. But nowadays it looks like when we are working from home, we have been contributing to the work all the time, and literally people at home are starting to feel as though we are not contributing to family at all. So that's the scenario. So the video literally depicts each and every one of you. So that's the reason I showed that video. So now we move to strokes. Strokes are nothing but, some of you might be qualified in transaction analysis. Strokes are nothing but words of appreciation that we can pass on to people around us. Like how I said, a note of thanks to your teachers from whom you've drawn inspiration. You can also send small notes of appreciation to people who are either present in this program or to anybody whom you want to thank for what they are to you, for what they have done to you, for what they have been doing to you, and also to people at home who have been really supportive to you. So this is the time for giving words of appreciation to people around. I'm just reminding, because we are running at such a fast pace that we take things for granted and we fail to acknowledge and appreciate things that have been happening on their own, things of help that we have been getting from people around. Are we appreciating our children for being and not only for doing? Or are we focusing on our children only for doing something? If yes, let us correct ourselves, start appreciating them for just being. I just love the way you are. I like the way you are. And start appreciating your children, your spouse, everybody around you, because this act of appreciation is so contagious that it spreads so much of kindness and positivity to around us. So when our surrounding is positive, naturally it does good lot to ourselves. And this stroke you can also give to yourself. So you can just raise your right hand, bend it back, and pat your back for just being what you are as wonderful teachers and professors. Okay, so let's go to the current uncertainty, the corona situation, which is absolutely the unforeseen. They never thought of that such a thing would happen.
One moment, sorry to interrupt you. Are you
Yeah.
showing the PPT? Because PPT is not visible here.
Yes, I'm showing. Okay, let me try to share again. Thank you, sir, for pointing that
Noted.
out. I think when I move from video, yeah. Yes, is it visible, sir?
Yes, now it's visible. Thank you.
Okay, so we are at this situation where we are experiencing the unforeseen, the uncertain, the unseen, the unpredictable. And in the current situation, we have been speaking about doctors, police, and lots of other important functionaries up to the government officials as corona warriors. But according to me, even teachers are a part of the army. They are also have been fighting it out every day. And now that we are working from home and we are conducting virtual sessions, we learn a lot, we update ourselves, we even sacrifice our sleep to make our sessions very interesting, plan our day. So teachers are also a part of the corona army. So this is how beautifully all of you have been managing, but we have been coming across certain challenges handling different types of students. So we must have seen WhatsApp video that has been becoming very viral how a teacher says if some students we ask them to audio mute, they don't do it, or video mute, they don't do it, or if we ask them to unmute also, they don't do it, or they stay muted on both audio and video. So it was just on the lightest sense. Lots of funny incidents have been happening. While of course there are many students who have been sincerely listening, as also the parents. Parents are also learning along with the students now. So the challenges we have handling different types of students, different types of parents, learning new technology, adapting to the changes. Suddenly, we never thought we'll be getting used to apps like platforms like Zoho or Zoom or Google Meet. Did we ever think of it even 4 months back? So even at the beginning of the new year 2020, we never thought that such new platforms are going to come and the classes are going to be conducted on those platforms. So you have been facing a lot of challenges, and sometimes we feel, are we getting any recognition? Are we getting any special appreciation? Because everybody is facing challenges, everybody is sailing in the same boat. So all we can do is to recognize and appreciate ourselves, or the moment we realize it, we need to start extending that note of recognition and appreciation to people around. So it's like when we give to others, we also get back. And sometimes the very important challenge, as I was mentioning, is I heard from some of the people who work from home saying families started feeling that we are not giving any attention to the family members. We are always on the mobile or on the laptop, or either we keep preparing or we keep attending the sessions, or sometimes we learn something. So ultimately, the family feels a physical presence, but we have been keeping ourselves thoroughly engaged. That's the feeling our family members have been getting. And the uncertainty of what is happening, when will this corona end? Why did it happen? And why is it not getting cured or eradicated? Where did it start from and where is it going to end? And how are we going to treat the situation? Lots of uncertainties are floating in our minds. But remember, fear, uncertainty, and discomfort are a compass towards growth. If you look past in the history, all times of crisis have always resulted in a steep growth or in total transformation in many countries. You can just turn the pages in history and see how lots of positive transformations and progresses have happened after every crisis. So, tolerance for uncertainty is the prerequisite to succeeding. Now that we are tolerant, we are resilient, and we are patient, I am sure all of you have really transformed yourself by updating yourself, by becoming really very stronger, that we are all equipped to face even further challenges that are ahead of us. Okay, in this uncertain situation, what can we do? We have two options. Either with the courage to wait, we can keep waiting for more clarity, or we can get into the courage to act with whatever information is available. When we choose the first one, the courage to wait, naturally we keep waiting. So we keep waiting and waiting, and we really feel unhappy. We just explore something, and then we get into the self-pity mode and stay with that self-pity mode, and then again we continue to wait. The circle continues. But if we choose the second one of the courage to act, what we do, we look at what is known with the available certain information, within whatever is within my control. What can I do? Let me take the first step, one step at a time, with the available information, and with little courage to wait for the next step of information. Let me just take one foot forward. The moment we take one foot forward, we automatically get further direction. Somewhere we get that idea or direction from others because we initiated the first foot forward. And then when you get into the courage more to act, see what happens. Lots of magic happen. And again, we get into the next level of what we know. And this is how the positive circle continues. So now with this situation, we have two options: either the courage to keep always brooding about it and stay in the self-pity mode, or get the courage to act on, to learn new technologies and get going with whatever is within our control. So it's literally like focusing on the controllables and not our uncontrollables. At the same time, when we saw about our challenges, I would like to remind you about the strengths. When I'm going to read this, I'm sure some of you might get reminded of something. If you get reminded, you can always type that in the chat. Our strength in India, we have powerful youth who are eager to learn and ever ready to share. I repeat, we have powerful youth who are eager to learn something or the other. They are eager to learn what they like. And as parents or as teachers, we want them to learn what we like. But if you observe them, they are very eager to learn and ever ready to share. With perfect synergy, they are ready to do both. We have such brilliant and brainy population who have been looked upon by countries outside India across the globe, which you are very aware. I will not even give examples. We have the backing of rich culture and tradition, which has taught us a lot of values. Hard work never fails. Honesty is the best policy. We have taken it very sincerely and we have really literally imbibed it in our life. And committed teachers are a great strength. So, Indian teachers, even abroad, if you see, are really most sought after for the kind of or the levels of commitment they have. We have some teachers as participants in today's session who are Indian teachers working abroad, or generally any teacher for that matter, even teachers from other countries working there, as the way they are looked upon for their highest levels of commitment. So I call all teachers as PhDs. What is PhD? I learned it from my professor very recently when he did a session. Teachers are all PhDs. What does P stand for? They have so much of passion and they function with purpose to create the future leaders. And they have the hunger to transform their students, to really make their students successful with so much of honesty. And D stands for so much of determination, dedication, and devotion. So I'm seeing many doctors here, but according to me, every teacher and every professor is a PhD for their levels of passion, purpose, honesty, determination, dedication, and devotion. Now, let me share another video. Some of you might have seen this video, but in the current context,
Ma'am, I think video comes as frames, so I don't know whether people will be able to watch it clearly.
oh, the video is not happening, is it?
Last time also it came only as frames.
Oh, I see. Okay, fine. So then let me just explain. I will share, and if it is not seen, let me try to explain what the video is about. Or many of you might have seen the video of rebirth of an eagle. So let me just try, sir, and check with you whether it's visible, because remember you saying it was working.
So the earlier one came only as frames, so we saw about some 50 frames.
Oh, but the image was not visible, is it?
No, the video, it was not continuously moving. It was as if 50 slides were presented.
Okay, but the images were clear.
Images were clear. So
Okay,
from the images, we made out that you are referring to a teacher's work from right from morning till evening. So that was, we were able to connect it, but there was no, it was not visible as a video.
Okay, I understand.
Bandwidth issues, or I don't know, that's an issue.
Okay, let me just try once.
Sure.
Is it visible?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, 1 minute. 1 minute. I have to press another OK. Yes. Now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So for those who are not able to see, let me just read out. This is a story of an eagle. Some of you might have already seen, but in the current context, let us refer to it. It has the longest lifespan of the species, and it can live up to 70 years. But to reach this age, the eagle must make a hard decision. In its 40th year, its long and flexible talons can no longer grab the prey which serves as food. Its long and sharp beak becomes bent. Its old age and heavy wings, due to their thick feathers, stick to its chest and make it very difficult to fly. Then the eagle is left with only two options: either die or go through a painful process of change. The process requires that the eagle fly to a mountain top and sit on its nest. There, the eagle knocks its beak against the rock until it plucks it out. You can imagine how painful it will be. Then the eagle will wait for a new beak to grow back, and then it will pluck out its talons. When its new talons grow back, the eagle starts plucking its old age feathers. And after this, the eagle takes its famous flight of rebirth and lives for 30 additional years. Why is change needed? Why does it have to do so in order to survive and live long, to accomplish what it has to achieve? We too have to start the change process. We sometimes need to get rid of unpleasant old memories, negative habits, and a fixed mindset. Only freed from past burdens can we take advantage of the present. In order to take a new journey ahead, let go of our negative old limiting beliefs and open up a fixed mindset, and let yourself fly high again like an eagle. So I'm hoping it was visible, sir.
Yes, yes, it was. It was.
Okay.
We saw it as frames,
Somehow
but since you reading it helped.
yeah, thank you. So now I'm trying to share the PPT again. Yes. So as I said, many of us would have certainly seen this video earlier, but whenever we see that, it's really rejuvenating and we get so much of inspiration from this video. That's the reason I try to share it whenever possible. Okay, so we need not undergo such painful processes for us to survive. We just have to keep an open mindset and keep adapting to the changes and face the challenges that are ahead of us by using our strengths and opportunities. Okay, what makes you very powerful? I think I have been speaking for quite a long time. So now I want to hear from you. The topic is Faculty Empowerment Program. What do you think makes you powerful? Anything that comes to your mind. It can be just anything. Forget about whether it's going to be right. Fly high again like an eagle. Yes, Dr. Hannah. Okay, so I'm waiting for some answers for you for my question. What do you think will make you powerful? What makes you powerful? Hard work and knowledge. Excellent, Dr. Anshu Arora. Yes, undoubtedly, at any point of time, knowledge is power. Confidence. Yes, Radhika. And sorry, I'm addressing you by name. Confidence. Yes. Hard work, knowledge, confidence. Yes, Lokeshwari, you're right. Dr. Hannah, commitment. Yes, ma'am. Shobrani, professor, inspired by the way of teaching, dressing, and speaking. I'm grateful to you always, ma'am. Thank you so much. I do not know if I know you, but thank you so much for mentioning that. Introspecting periodically. Yes, commitment. Bottom line, Balaji. Okay. Understanding student perception and circumstances. Perfect. Very good. Open to learning and being a lifelong learner. Yes, Dr. Anshu Arora. Confidence, courage, and knowledge. Yes, Jonita, you're right. Jonita Fanning maybe is what I'm able to see. Love the profession. Yes. Make a passion, develop a passion towards this profession. Looks like my voice is not clear. Sweta Ravi says. Okay, keep on updating, Dr. Suganya. Yes, Dr. Suganya. Sharing knowledge. Yes, hard work and knowledge. Okay, ability to bring change in students. Okay, so we are very confident that we are making ourselves powerful through all these means. That's the very purpose of asking you this question, to make you think whether we are really having a lot of skills and abilities to make ourselves powerful. So from your answers, I'm really very happy that all of you are very confident that it is in our hands to make ourselves powerful by constantly learning and updating. All said and done, muscle power is important, but definitely knowledge is really most powerful, and knowledge is power. That can never be challenged at any point of time. Okay, let me move to the full screen. What is empowerment? So I got some feedback from you all about whether we can make ourselves powerful, and you said some means. What do we mean by empowerment? Empowerment is the ability to make choices. When we are empowered, we are able to make our own choices. We feel we have control on our lives. We are able to control our lives, and we are able to make decisions about important things in life. And people who are empowered have the authority to make decisions and the power to carry them out. So all these contribute to empowerment. We will see further in detail. Empowerment in schools and colleges, how it impacts. Empowered individuals believe they have the skills and knowledge to act on a situation and improve it. So they are able to act on it and also improve it. And it's a process where we develop the competence to take charge of our own growth instead of pointing fingers at somebody because of this person, that person. I'm not going. No, I am empowered. In Tamil, we say "Teedum nanjum pirartara vara." So if I have to empower myself, I have to own the responsibility. I am the reason and I am the cause. I should be that way. I can see if I'm going to point fingers at somebody else for my growth or not, growth not happening, then we are really not empowering ourselves. So empowerment literally is about making yourself to take charge of your own growth and resolve our own problems. So empowered organizations create opportunities for competence to be developed and displayed by the stakeholders. Okay, about teacher empowerment. What is it all about? It's about development of a vision for themselves, positive stress. Naturally, when we feel empowered and we are motivated to do something, we feel a little bit of stress. So in stress management, we always say that good stress is okay. Where the student stresses to prepare for the exam, it is called eustress. It is good stress. If the student is not taking stress, the parents get stressed or the teachers get stressed. So even teachers, professors, when we want to progress and we develop a goal, we work towards that. We have little positive stress, which is okay. Experiences that motivate and inspire, enriching analytical abilities, adopting and adapting to the technology, developing life skills for managing everything, and connecting to students So we can either say teacher empowerment leads to all these things, or all these things contribute to make a teacher empowered. Whichever way we want, we can take. Now let's have a quick poll. Now with this perspective, little perspective of what we saw about empowerment, do you think you are empowered? Can we have a quick poll? The options are yes, no, or maybe. Do you think you are empowered? Is the question. So, oh, okay, I'm able to see the responses from many of you. Wow, extremely delighted to see highest percentage of the participants are saying you feel empowered because you have really understood what is empowerment and you have taken the responsibility for your own empowerment. That makes you say yes. Okay, it is okay if we feel no, probably we might have some challenges. I thoroughly agree and understand. So 86% of the participants have said yes. Let me show the results to you. 86% have said yes. 3% have said no, and 10% not sure. I'm just showing the results to you. I'm sure all of you are able to see. So overall, maximum people feel that you feel empowered. To others, I would really like to leave a little hint or a note. Just start analyzing who is responsible for empowering you. Despite challenges, what can you do to empower yourself? And what are the skills you need to acquire and make yourself feel empowered and also make others feel that you are an empowered person, self-empowered person. Okay, so again, let me share the PPT. I'm sure now we have come back to the PPT, you're all able to see. Okay, so how can we get empowerment? As I said, the little percentage of the participants who have said either no or maybe, I sincerely request you to start doing a self-introspection. What is it that I need to do to feel empowered? Do I require a support system or should I work on myself? What are the changes that I require to overcome the challenges? Should I update myself more? Or should I be open to some changes? Or what are the challenges you have? Because I cannot address one on one, I'm just leaving this question open to all of you. How can we get empowerment for ourselves? These are some of the tips, okay, which just came to my mind. By knowing about ourselves, first we need to, for anything, self-awareness is a foundation. First, we should have thorough self-awareness. Who am I? Who am I is $1,000,000 question, but at least I should know what are my skills, what are my areas of interest, what are my strengths, etc. And I should improve or keep my self-esteem very high. Unless we are confident, we will not be able to effectively accomplish anything. Emotional intelligence, very, very important quality required in the current scenario. If we do not have this, we will get stuck in a hurt. We will get into the shell when a negative incident happens. So quickly we should bounce back and get into action. We should be able to handle the emotions of ourselves as well as others. Resilience, very, very important now. The ability to bounce back despite challenges, ability to handle uncertainties, what you have been doing now. So if you look at many of the skills already during the lockdown, all of us have developed it. It's literally like pushing into the pond we learned to swim. It's like that. Now this shouldn't have happened, I agree, but it has happened. It's beyond our control. It is beyond the control of the government, beyond the control of everyone. This pandemic has happened, but what is the option that we have to focus on are controllables to build the resilience, to adapt ourselves to the challenges, face the challenges, and handle the situation most effectively. So ability to handle uncertainties, you have been doing very well now. Intrinsic motivation, and yeah, all of us know that there are two types of motivation: intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. We will try to see in detail. Intrinsic motivation is without waiting for the rewards or recognition. I have something in me. I feel so good. Why am I doing this session? I feel so good. I feel connected with the teachers and professors whom I respect and value so much. Okay, so it gives me a lot of satisfaction. It gives me happiness. End of the day, it gives me a sense of accomplishment. That is intrinsic motivation. If I'm going to work for a salary or a reward or an award or a recognition, then that is extrinsic motivation. Then transformational leadership skills. I will explain about that in the next few slides. Agility. Agility is the skill to move quickly and with grace. Okay, so some people, if you see, they do things very fast, they tend to get confused. They don't know how to do things very fast or quickly change the directions. So agility is the skill to quickly adapt to the changes. Speed with grace, that's the exact definition. And being self-driven, creativity is required. I know in every session how all of you have been really finding out ways and means to bring out creativity in your sessions, creativity in the sessions to make the sessions more interesting to the students, to make them participate and enjoy and look forward to your sessions. The other skill required is managing stress by maintaining work-life balance. It's really a big challenge now, so we have to consciously do something to manage our stress and crisis management. When everything is going on fine, everybody can handle. But in situations of crisis, how smartly am I going to manage? Another concept of empowerment is empowerment emanates or it leads to power. So if I feel empowered, it results in power, access, gives multiple options to progress, positive thinking, learning. So when I'm empowered, I always have the thirst to learn and progress, learn and grow. And my self-image and self-awareness definitely improves. And my morals help us, or my morals go, they even improve further. So as I said earlier, this is again another aspect. All these help you in empowering yourself, and it's like whether the hen leads to the egg or the egg leads to the hen. So it's both the ways. So the other theory of empowerment is it leads to all these and all these things also. When you feel empowered, when you feel you have the power, access, options, when you have the positive thinking, you are open to learning, to grow and work on the self-image with morals, definitely, undoubtedly, this 3% or 10% who have given no or not sure also will say, yes, I feel empowered because I have taken charge of myself towards my self-empowerment. Okay, this is self-empowerment cycle, 3 stages. First stage is the challenge of initiating, starting trouble. I really want to know. I think I know, but I have to learn some more. We have some hesitation. Sometimes what we do with early decision making, we just do what instructions are given to us, and then slowly by following the instructions, we move one step ahead and we grow in confidence because we have done something correctly. So early stages of self-efficacy comes, and when my students who are successful gives us the validation that yes, I have started, I have initiated the empowerment cycle, I have done something good. Then to start is difficult, but to keep it growing is even more important. We focus in the challenges of growing phase of the empowerment cycle. We focus on professional growth. While there are so many opportunities we look for which we are seeking and we grab those opportunities, we focus on the professional growth. And sometimes in this process, we also walk into some bad situations and we look up to seniors, principal, or the elders or the mentors available to you and overcome such bad situations. And quickly we move to autonomy and decision making, which are key elements for empowerment. And the third phase, always we say succeeding is very difficult, but sustaining that success is even more difficult. So the third phase is the most difficult phase, which is the challenge of sustaining. So what we have to do to sustain, we can't say that yesterday I learned, so I feel empowered. No, it should be a lifelong continuous process of updating and learning. So we can say I'm continuing to learn every day. I'm learning. To do this program, I think I have learned a lot of new things. So every new session that I do really empowers me by learning and updating myself. And enlightened self-efficacy we develop at this stage because we have to sustain the success. I feel I'm effective, but somewhere I feel something is not effective. So again, I put in extra efforts and I maintain a very good peer relationships within the school. And so I start believing because of the efforts I have taken in updating myself, in adapting to the changes, in facing the challenges, and because of my intrinsic motivation, now I started realizing that people respect me. And we also start involving in groups, even outside the school, like this forum that you are participating. So many teachers and professors who have come from various education institutions, we have gathered here. So I again remember one statement from one of my professors who always says, a networked person is the most networthy person. I repeat, a networked person is the most networthy person, which really got registered very strongly in my mind. So anything that we have to do in the current scenario, we need people, we need support system, we need a good network. So feeling empowered is all about these things: learning, updating, maintaining very good relationships, and gaining the respect of people, etc.
Uh,
Okay, I think,
before I proceed, just to quickly ask you how much more, because
yeah.
participants may want to ask you some questions also,
Okay.
because we have a
Oh,
time limit till
okay.
5:30 only
Another
total.
5 minutes.
Sure.
Okay.
Lovely,
Okay.
lovely, lovely. Thank you very much.
5 or 10 minutes. Let me try to quickly run through a certain concepts because the topic is a very wide topic.
I know.
Considering the time constraint, let me try to cover maximum possible. Maybe max 10 minutes. So
Yeah,
5
see,
or 10
one thing
minutes.
is, reason is that some of them would like to ask you some questions, so maybe we should give them some 10
Okay.
to 15 minutes to do that. So that's the
Done.
reason.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, fine. Yeah, just a few slides and let me try to finish.
Sure. Lovely,
Okay.
thank you.
So, yeah, I was saying about the transactional leadership style of teachers. Teacher as a leader. So, leadership theory is not only applicable in the corporate sector, as I said, teachers are also leaders because they have been creating future leaders. They are transactional. There are various theories of leadership. I'm sure all of you know that transactional leadership. So, teachers as transactional leaders, they do successful transactions in every classroom sessions. Transformational because they transform the students as future leaders, they create leaders, and situational leadership in teachers make them handle challenging situations like what we are seeing currently. These are the three key components of empowerment: autonomy, capacity, and accountability. Okay, considering the time constraints, let me go to important concepts. Yes, the 3A model. Yeah, some few tips to make ourselves empowered. Okay, now we need to remain stress-free in this challenging situation. So, few simple tips. Probably in some session in future, I would like to elaborate on this. The 4 simple P's for peace of mind. Now just focus on these 4 things. Okay, mainly on these 4 things. Other things also we can focus on. If you want just few things to keep in mind, 4 P's: perceptions, prioritization, pre-planning, and living in the present. If you are able to remember like these 4 P's for a peace of mind, like how we always remember the 4 P's for marketing. Perception. This one picture explains it all. The person on the left is looking at it as 6, whereas the person on the other side is looking at it as 9. Okay, just because I am able to see it as 6, I cannot say that the other person who sees it as 9 is wrong. So, from his point of view, he is right. One simple concept we should always remember when we get into conflicts or some tips in the interpersonal relationships. trying to empathetically step into the other shoes and look from their point of view. And prioritization, all of us know what it is. First things first. All of us know the concept of the empty pickle jar, where how we find out what are the golf balls, give first priority to the top priorities, and then arrange our to-do list in the order of priorities. Only then we will be able to manage our time effectively. Pre-planning. We say if we fail to plan, we plan to fail. So whatever we do, if we are able to do a little bit of pre-planning, we will be able to do it confidently and more effectively. And present, this one word is somehow very magical. It has a lot of meanings. One, present means being attentive. Present means you must be hearing. So being attentive and being in the present is not living in the past, letting go of things. Present is also a gift. So, what we give to others as gift, either our own traits or gifting them with words of appreciation, or we ourselves being a gift or a present to people around us as teachers, as parents, as wives, husbands, mothers, fathers, in all our relationships, trying to be a present to everyone. So, in different aspects, we can see that. That's about the 4 P's, and 3A model is about learning to appreciate everybody around us. We can make appreciation a habit. It spreads so much of positivity around us. Acknowledge every action of people around us. Even if a child is going to do something very small, if you have done a small drawing, it may not be good, but with so much of enthusiasm, the child will come and say, Miss, I drew this picture, Miss, how is it? So instantly say, wow, it's beautiful. I know all of you doing that. That's why I'm just presenting it here. Appreciating, acknowledging, and admitting. Sometimes, no, miss, that's not this, miss. Yeah, you're right. I was wrong. That also, makes them feel good. So appreciating, acknowledging, and admitting. The 3M model, again, all of these may be just reminders to many, but time for us to remind ourselves because we have so many challenges and we have been running stressfully. So I'm just here as an enabler to remind about lots of known concepts, probably. The 3M model, therefore, for parenting as well as for teachers, it holds good. Key roles are mentoring, monitoring, and modeling. How many of us have looked up to our teachers as role models by the way of dressing, the way of talking? In so many aspects, we have really looked up to our teachers and professors as role models. And the AEIOU model, keeping our attitude positive, having always a feeling of empathy, and developing intelligence or updating ourselves, because according to the student, my teacher knows it all, my professor knows it all. Okay, any doubt they get, they will be looking up to us, so we have to keep ourselves updated. O stands for observing the students for every little changes. I still remember one small change in me, which a teacher very brilliantly pointed out and said, and I always, at this age, I just recollected that and told her how brilliant she was in identifying that change, the way she read my face at a particular phase in my school days. Observe the students and understand non-verbal cues and behavior from their body language, whether they are upset, something is wrong with them, what happened. We can really be empathetic. We are literally like parents for them in the school. So this is the AEIOU model: attitude, empathy, intelligence, observation, and understanding. Ultimately, what matters is to manage our stress, we really need the me time. So, despite the challenges you have, the tight schedules you have for the virtual classroom sessions, have some time for yourself. The me time, quality family time. Remember the Pareto's law. Even if you don't have much time, 20% of the time is sufficient to give 80% of the best results by way of quality time. And friends are very important. Stay connected and stay networked, and do not lose sight of that. That I should have the me time, the family time, and friends who will help us really maintain the perfect work-life balance, and the art of letting go, not to hold on to the negative experiences, Whenever you feel so upset, one small tip is just write down in a piece of paper, scribble it, and throw it, or discuss with a friend. When we share something, automatically our grief or hurt comes down. Okay, now I'm planning to give a small relaxation exercise, after which we go to the Q&A session. Okay, I request you all, if you have a mobile nearby, you can play your most melodious favorite music, because if I play, I'm not sure if the audio will be visible. So you can play your mild, melodious favorite music very mildly, either in your laptop or in your mobile. Close your eyes and just follow the instructions. I'm going to give you a simple muscle relaxation exercise. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Close your eyes and just follow my instructions. Now you're going to focus on each muscle and give it your attention to relax. You start from the right hand and the right fingers. So make a fist, like as though you're going to punch. Just make a fist with the right hand and fingers. Hold them tight, gently, and leave them free. So you're focused on this muscle on the right arm with the fingers. You have made it tight and relaxed. Next, let's move to the right forearm. Hold the muscles tight a little bit and relax. Next, let's move to the right upper arm beneath the shoulders. Gently fold your arm, tighten the muscles and relax. Repeat the same for the left arm. Hold the left arm like a fist, tightening the fingers and relax. The left forearm just above the wrist, tighten, relax. The left upper arm, gently fold the left arm, tighten the muscles and relax. Next, we move to the head and the face. Just move, give some type of movement to the muscles on the face. You can do all the smiley actions, eyebrows up, whatever movement you can give on the facial muscles you can give, and bring them to calm. Focus on the shoulders, very important for your body posture. Just tighten gently your shoulders, give some movement to the shoulders and relax. Focus on the chest portion, gently hold tight and relax. Next, focus on the stomach, the abdomen portion, hold them gently tight and relax. Focus on the right thigh, upper leg, just hold it tight and release. If you have any pain anywhere, don't do that in that portion. Just pat on that portion if you have pain there. The right lower leg beneath the knee, give it a shake, tighten that muscle, relax. The right foot and toes, just give them some movement. Maybe you can rotate right to left and left to right, or just up and down with the toes. Relax the right leg. Let's move to the left upper leg, the thighs. Gently tighten. Relax. The left leg, lower leg beneath the knee. Gently tighten the muscles. Relax the ankle and beneath toes. Give them movement up and down or rotate left to right, clockwise or anti-clockwise. Relax. Now keep both the legs grounded on the floor. You have now focused on various muscles in the body and just given them some activity and relaxation. You feel so good and a bit relaxing. If you have a good music, it will be even more effective. Again, we can inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and gently open your eyes. And hoping and believing some of you did it religiously. And before I leave, let me just share one. Is the screen visible now that I'm?
Yeah, screen is visible.
Which screen, sir?
It's at 4.22 minutes.
That's the screen visible, is it?
Yes.
Okay, fine, perfect. Thank you. So here again, it's not, if it's not audible, it's okay.
It's just jumping frames, ma'am.
Yeah. Because of the time constraint, I'm jumping to messages. So this boy has been picking up starfishes and throwing back to the sea, and the man asked, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm throwing starfishes into the ocean." So the old man asked, "Look at the huge stretch of the ocean. When the sun gets high, they will die. Unless I throw them back into the water," says the boy. The old man says, "But there must be thousands of starfish on this beach. I'm afraid you won't really be able to make much of a difference." The boy bent down, picked up yet another starfish, and threw it as far as he could into the ocean. I wish you could hear the sound, beautiful sound. And he said, I made a difference for this one. So that's the starfish message for the teachers. An overwhelmed teacher could ask, how much of a difference can I really make? What can I do as an individual? Whenever this question pops up during teaching, remember this story. You might not be able to change all the underachieving students in the classroom, but at least you can change some of them. So that's the last message. So I'm almost towards the end. I thank Mr. Raghunathan for giving this wonderful opportunity, and considering the time constraint, I'm closing with this, and I'm open to questions now.
Yeah, we have another 5 minutes, so if there are any questions, we can take up now, because we would like to close at the committed time of 5:30. So if there are any quick couple of questions. In fact, the presentation has been exhaustive. So she talked about PhD, she talked about 4 Ps, 3 As, 3 Ms, the AEIOU model. So she's covered quite extensively.
But it's only a sample, it's almost like a teaser. So I still have lots more to share in some opportunity.
Of course, of course, of course.
Somebody has asked, can you please share the link of videos? Yes, I can. The PPT I cannot share because it's actually more than 100 slides. I have only shared sample.
So what you do, ma'am, is that you send us the link of the videos, and we will send along with the Telegram
that I
link,
can do.
and we will send it across to the participants who have attended. It will take a day or two for us to collate it and do that. So once you send it across, we'll do that.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Dr. Devika, Dr. Smriti Parikh. Thank you so much. We'll always remember the message. If all of you are able to remember at least few of the messages which I have wholeheartedly taken efforts to prepare with the intention that the kind of challenges that you have been facing, something should really be inspiring to you and should really make you feel how important and valuable you are in whatever you are doing, then my day is made. I'll be very happy. Thank you very much for the wonderful session. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. Any questions? I think the topic is such that if it's a technical topic, probably they might have doubts or questions. As such, most of them are learned scholars. So it's only a reminder from my side about whatever they already know to make them just recollect and remind themselves of their importance and how wonderful they are in their profession.
Absolutely,
Okay, thank you.
Regarding the links, ma'am will give the links regarding the videos. Along with that, we will send the Telegram invite link and also the YouTube channel link of Learning Circle Academy. We will be posting this video also. In a day or two, we'll be posting this video in the Learning Circle Academy.
4 Ps and 3 As, okay, Lokeshwari ma'am.
There is no feedback link. Somebody's asking, is there a feedback link, ma'am? So we have not looked at any feedback link. Am I right, ma'am?
Yeah, no feedback link. However, I'm just giving my, if I can share my contact.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. If you want to give any feedback or ask anything, you can always do
ask for PPT. See, as ma'am said, it's more than 100 slides, and so it will not be appropriate to share those slides because this is more for done as a long program. So this has been truncated for this webinar purposes.
For 1 hour, 1.5 hours almost. So this is my contact. Yeah.
You can reach out to her on the Gmail and also the mobile number she's shared. You're most welcome to connect with her.
Okay. So thank you so much.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think people are appreciative of this entire program, and what they want is only the links. Want the video links, we will send it across to them, and also along with that, we'll send the Telegram invite link and also the YouTube channel link. In a day or two, we'll work towards posting the entire presentation on the
YouTube. I think that will help for people who are looking for the content. When it is shared on the YouTube, I think it will be helpful.
Yeah, we are working on that. There are certain technical glitches. It is not as easy as earlier because using this Zoho only recently we started using Kavita. If you have registered through this email ID, you will get it under that email ID. If you wanted another ID, it will be very difficult for us to track it. So we will, whoever has registered and attended, those email IDs will be available in our system, and we will send it to that. You don't have a Telegram account, it's just another like WhatsApp or Signal. You can download it and get future updates about it, Priyadarshini. Wonderful. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. Thank you very much, Uma ma'am. I think you have covered an extensive ocean into a sort of a small capsule and given it to it. So one of the learnings I take back is that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So that's a message that I am taking back from you. Apart from the AEIOU model, 4 P's, 3 A's, 3 M's, you talked about it, and of course, the brilliant is that all the teachers can put a PhD before their name or after their name. That's a choice that she's given. So that's wonderful.
Thank you, sir. I really feel so happy having done this topic that I've been able to connect with so many teachers and professors, and thanks to you for creating this wonderful platform. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. We will be closing the program, ma'am. So we'll be exiting, we'll be closing. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much from all of us at Learning Circle Academy. Thank you, Dr. Smriti, for your wonderful words. Thank you, Lokeshwari. Thank you very much. We're signing off. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.